Yeah, I would say if you are somebody who can thrive in an environment of uncertainty, I think field medical role could be something for you. Um, if you have an ability to connect with folks, and to communicate, to educate, I think this is a great role because to me, it's been very fulfilling. I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of different people in different therapeutic areas. Um, and it's one of those experiences that if you were only localized to one institution, you'll be great at where you're at. You'll know a lot, and you'll be sort of like, the go-to person probably at that particular hospital. Here, at least from my perspective, and you know what, to be honest though, as a clinical pharmacist, I did find a lot of rewards from that, right? When you're talking to the patient, you're helping them where, and this may sound a little cliche in a sense, but like when we talk about industry, what we are doing is we're educating the physicians and lots of them, not just one, right? Multiple physicians. And you think about each of those physicians now are either educating each other or they're educating their patients. So to me, there's a multiplier effect. So whatever we're doing, it's not just one patient at a time, it's many patients at a time. So I think that's another, like if you're passionate about helping a lot of people, I think that's another rewarding experience. The other thing is if you like to travel, at least in the field medical role, and even with not in field medical, because let's say your company, you live here, well, for the most part, if you're in field medical, you're likely living far away. But let's say you're still close now. Since post-COVID, they've been more likely to hire people that don't necessarily live very close by. You get to travel to the home office wherever that's located, or you get to travel to these conferences or Congress meetings that are located all across the country, or even in outside the US. So there's opportunities to learn and grow, and just be exposed to more than just your local sort of catchment area. I know Portland very well. I know Seattle very well. I know Honolulu very well, Anchorage, and then all of the different cities that I've never really had a chance to travel prior to having an opportunity like this. So it is really rewarding. It's really fulfilling, but there are days where it's lonely. You're the only person. You don't have coworkers really to talk to every day. It's not like water cooler talk. You can't walk into a cafeteria or kitchen and see your fellow coworkers. So a lot of it is just being able to manage things on your own, but at the same time reach out and still stay connected through virtual calls and things like that, which we typically try to do. But it is one of those experiences that I would say I've been very fortunate to be part of. And seeing that evolve has been really amazing. From all of the different, I mean, technology these days. Like honestly, before COVID, if you tried to meet with a physician over Zoom, they're like, what the heck is that? They always want you to meet in person. So we were always like traveling, 2 or 3 times a week, or like every week I was in a different city. So it was good when I was young, but when I had kids and stuff, it became a little bit more difficult. But now since COVID, a lot of physicians are used to using Zoom and Teams and these types of things to meet because they found the value like, hey, I can meet with you and I don't have to be in the office. I could work from home and we could meet that way. And that's the same thing for an MSL because I can meet with you. You're in San Francisco. I didn't have to drive up there to see you. And at the same time, because my territory is multiple states, I can meet with somebody 10 minutes later or 30 minutes later in like the other side of the country or the other side of the state, right? So there's a lot of efficiency that has really come about because of the advent of the technology these days. But overall, I would say it's been extremely rewarding. Would I do it again? Absolutely. Would I would I consider fellowship? Probably only because that would have given me other insights into field besides just field medical. But would I have traded in residency? I don't know. That's a hard question because, like I told you at the beginning, I find that having that residency under my belt sets me aside from others who didn't because that's something that is fundamental where I think is key to be able to understand what physicians are talking about and being seen as a peer-to-peer. despite not having a fellowship, I learned that along the way, right? Like that's something that could, yeah, I got here, now I know what each function does. But if you had done fellowship, there's no way you would have gotten that clinical foundation after a fellowship, unfortunately. You'll know, like we teach you everything that we can, but you weren't in the hospital. You don't know the nomenclature or like the words that these physicians are using when they're ordering things. So I still think I would probably do a residency over a fellowship,
That
despite what I'm doing now. Yeah.
that's actually really common. A lot of the people that I've spoken to say that it's a lot easier to transition from something clinical into industry than to do the
Mhm.
opposite,
Yeah.
just because of that experience and that
Yeah,
expertise.
because you'll never get it at any other time. You can't replace that, unfortunately.
Mhm.
Yeah.